Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I've got a review on a bunch of products really. Something very different that is fairly new, I guess, in terms of health and well-being, and that is we're talking about light devices. So I've got a couple of devices here and also one here that I'm predominantly interested in talking to you about today. So light therapy, if you go onto something like PubMed and type in low-level light therapy, you'll get lots of thousands of articles on the benefits of light and how helpful it can be on the human body. And different spectrums of light can give forth different effects on the body as well. And those effects can be from healing the body to helping with SAD issues. So if you suffer from SAD, where you have low levels of light during the winter months, or you've got pain in your body, inflammation, detoxification, all those sorts of issues can be resolved with using light. And what I love about this kind of holistic approach to healing the human body is that it requires no chemicals, it requires no drugs, and you get a very powerful effect. And I've been using this kind of therapy now for a number of years, and I've certainly found the benefits. So why do I have these specific panels? So if you, I'm going to leave an article below this so you can have a bit more of an understanding of what light therapy does. And there's so many more benefits than what I've just mentioned, but we'll be here all day talking about that. But I've got my personal use of these lights. One is for reducing inflammation in my body, one is for recovery because I train a lot at the gym, and one is to energize my body. So if you imagine inside your body you have got thousands of cells, and all those cells require energy in order for them to work and for your body to function properly. And all our cells contain water, they contain 99% water. So light and water in your body is very important in order to charge your internal battery. So if you think of your human body or your cells in your body of being battery capacitors or actual individual batteries, and each one of those cells has got a little engine called the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is what produces energy for our body. It's what makes us move, it's what makes us think, it's what makes all our functions of our body work properly. And if those systems, such as those mitochondria, aren't functioning on full gear or full energy, then we're not going to be full of energy, and we're not going to have the capacity and the resilience to do our kind of daily jobs and our daily tasks. We might not feel great, and we might suffer from things like depression, anxiety, and all sorts of other health concerns, and chronic illness is caused by our mitochondria being weak. So I believe the future of health is through using things like light, not using drugs. It's one of the things anyway. There's many things we can do, and hopefully I can discuss some of those things in the future in future topics. But going back to this video, so what we've got here is I've got a laser device, or an LED based light device here that emits near infrared, visible and non-visible infrared as well. So if I just switch this on, that is switched on, and you can't really see anything because it's not visible to our naked eye. So it's actually producing something sort of 850 nanometers of light that we can't actually see. And on this switch here, if I put that on, you see it's very bright, okay? And that's producing about 650 nanometers of light that is very powerful and beneficial to for our body, and we can actually see that spectrum. So if I just switch these off because they're incredibly bright, but the idea being there's different spectrums of light, and those different spectrums can have an impact on our biology in many different ways. So that near infrared, the visible infrared, far infrared, these are all different forms of light. Now if you go out in the sun contains all spectrums of those lights. So if you're in a country where you've got sunshine, great, go outdoors, get outside in the sun, and you're going to get the full benefits of the sun. But actually using these devices by having in an isolated way, you can kind of utilise the power of light from the sun and use those spectrums to kind of heal, as I said, different parts of the body. So what I do is I use this to sit in front of and charge my body first thing in the morning. So when I wake up, I get undressed, so I'm naked as the day I was born, and I sit in front of this lamp and I charge my body, especially at the moment in the UK, because it's winter, there isn't very much sun, and it's too cold to go outside and be exposed to any sunshine that is there. So you know, having this kind of device in the UK or anywhere where it's really cold and you know you get this darker winter months is very, very important, and you get lots of benefits from doing that. So I'm exposing myself to this near infrared and invisible infrared light, which is very penetrative to the skin. It penetrates the skin, goes deep into the cell tissue and affects my mitochondria and literally charges me up. So I used to be someone that used to drink lots and lots of coffee, which I still do every now and again. I do like my coffee, but actually by doing this in the morning and doing some deep breathing techniques, I can really charge up my body to face the day. So I'm a big believer in that, you know, when you get up in the morning, whatever you do to start your morning is how you're going to face the day. So I think spending 10 minutes in front of this lamp in the morning is a great way of me starting my day and getting myself into the right headspace. And I just feel very, very good after I've done it. So what I do is I have this lamp here, which is, I said, LED based. And I have this lamp here, which I did get off eBay. This is from America, but you can get similar lamps in the UK. I bought this one because it's the most powerful that you can currently get around the world. It's one of the most powerful units. And the more powerful they are, the less time you have to spend in front of them. The weaker they are, the more time you have to spend in front of them to get the same benefits. But what I've got at the back here is, this is a ceramic infrared heating device. So this actually gives off quite a lot of heat, and this is what you would see in something like an infrared sauna. So if you've heard of an infrared sauna, they use far infrared light. So if I switch this on, you can see that it'll come on in a second, and this is giving out infrared heat. Now infrared heat is quite cool because infrared heat is what our bodies are infrared. So if you go onto an infrared camera, you'll see that we glow on an infrared camera because our bodies emit infrared heat. Therefore, having something that emits infrared itself is biologically very holistic in terms of our biochemistry, because our bodies utilise this heat very, very well. And so it doesn't heat up the surrounding air, it's heating up my skin as my skin goes nearer to it. So this sort of heat is very, very good for pain relief. So if you've got aches and pains in your body, or you train a lot and you get aches in your shoulder joints and your lower back and all those sorts of areas, this can be very good for healing those areas. And what I like to do is I have this set up behind me. So I've got this one in front of me, this one behind me, and this is emitting heat over my back. So it's a nice way of relaxing my back and relaxing my muscles. So I use it kind of almost like a bit of a therapy, really. So this is a 300 watt device, and this is around about a 400 watt device. So they're very, very powerful devices. So ideally, in a perfect world, I'd like to have an infrared sauna and utilise many of these panels so you actually sweat in front of it and get the benefits of infrared. But I haven't got one yet, but I plan to do that at some point in the future. I'll just switch this off. So I can put a link below this to this on Amazon. This is obviously from a company in America, and I'll put a link to that as well. And finally, what I've got is this lamp here. Okay, now this is a UV lamp. So you've all heard of UV light, and UV light is obviously emitted from the sun. Now UV is very, very important for those of you that suffer from things like SAD, or the seasonal affective disorder, or anxiety or depression. Usually find with a lot of my clients that I've coached that having a UV light in the morning, having something with very, very bright light, I'll just switch this on so you can see how bright it is. Incredibly bright light, gives off a bit of heat as well. Okay, so that's a UV lamp. So UV is what our body utilises in order to actually set ourselves up for our morning light. So if it wasn't for being in an office and our kind of lifestyles that require us being indoors all the time, we require sunlight to kind of set up our body on our circadian rhythm. So we have circadian rhythms that our body utilises in order to wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. And what I found with a lot of my clients is that a lot of them suffer from a breakdown in their circadian rhythms. They've either had issues with their food or nutrition, or they've been going to bed late and they've fallen out of the natural rhythm. And what using a UV light can do is that if you wake up in the morning and have UV light shined in your face, or go out and face the sun, you're going to reset your circadian rhythm, so your body knows that it's time to wake up and it's ready to face the day. And what will happen is, when you have that kind of initial burst of light into your eyes and goes through your retina, and obviously you're not wearing things like sunglasses to stop that light from going through, it's going to reset your system. Your body's going to know it's daytime, it's going to wake you up, it's going to start a hormonal response. And what will happen is things like serotonin and dopamine, the feel-good hormones that make you, feel like you're happy and you've got fulfillment, those hormones kick in when we have the right types of light coming into our eyes. So that's why it's really important to get out into open and get into some open sunshine during the day whenever you can, because it helps with your hormonal system. But if you can't, then having a lamp like that can really help, because you can shine it in your face. I do that while I'm kind of in front of this process and doing my meditation. I have that in my face as well, and that can really help with things like vitamin D levels as well. So vitamin D is the sunshine hormone, which you've probably heard of, very, very important for your immune system and many, many biological processes. By having UV light going through your eyes, it helps kickstart that process, and you need UV to process vitamin D in your body. So without it, you won't get enough vitamin D, and you'll find your immune system's compromised, and many other things as well can be compromised as well. So UV light's also important, but very, very important for those of you out there that suffer from SAD, anxiety, depression. I recommend getting a lamp like that, and I'll put a link below to a lamp that's similar on Amazon, or an LED version anyway, that has similar properties that you can kind of utilise to help with your general health and well-being. So there you go, guys. This is kind of just a brief introduction to light therapy. I've got this other cool device actually down here that you may find interesting, which is a mat, which is a grounding mat. So this is connected from here through a wire into a main socket, and it earths my body. So I sit on that. As I said, I'm naked when I'm doing this because I want the exposure to affect my entire body. I want to have the light emitted all over my body. And then using grounding, it's an EMF mat. If you want to Google that, I'll put a link below against this mat on Amazon. But this allows your body to be grounded as well. So being grounded is very, very important for lots and lots of health benefits to grounding your body. And combining these things together, I call it stacking. You stack these things together, you can get a big effect on your biology and your general health. So just like anything, if you go to the gym, yeah, you might feel better, but actually if you go to the gym and change your nutrition and add some supplements and do some light therapy and go out in nature, all these things, I call it stacking it together, gives you the best overall health response, and you'll find that your brain, your mind, your body, your mind all feel better. And as an overall result, I found of doing this sort of therapy, what I've found is my strength has increased. I have much more capacity and energy during the day, and by setting myself up first thing in the morning, I find as a result, those of you who suffer from sleep problems, I sleep better as well. I mentioned on one of my videos I had insomnia for many, many years, and by doing things like this and practicing in this way, I found that my sleep has greatly improved, the depth of my sleep has increased, the quality of my sleep has increased, because it's not just about sleeping, it's the quality of your sleep that's really, really important. And by measuring my sleep using the Aura Ring, which I mentioned on my last couple of videos, I can then track all this information. And part of being a holistic health coach and biohacker is it's not just about doing things, it's about tracking with data to see what the outcomes are. And I've seen with these a very, very positive effect on my sleep patterns and general overall energy. Guys, if you've got any questions and I can help you in any way, please message me or put in your comments below any questions you might have. I said I'll put some citations documents that you'll find useful about low-level light therapy, and any questions you've got, just ask and I'll do my best to answer them. Catch you soon.